I do one now?
Well, sure. I was going to explain the bill, but sure, go ahead.
Well, you know, we've had a lot of explanations about the bill. I came here today, I'm kind of disheartened about what I see in my country. I'm unemployed. I've been unemployed since September. I don't have health insurance. And all this that I hear today, the last person I would want to take care of my health care is you. I came here to talk to you. Politics just seems to be getting away from people in this country. We don't know who to count on, whether they're telling us the truth or not. We have people like Blagovich in this state. Two years ago, I talked to Mr. Blagovich here, and we all know what happened there since then. I'm so concerned about the tone of politics and just the thing that's going on right now, because I don't believe you or anyone else there. We have a speaker that calls people Nazis just for doing what I'm doing right now. That's the end. I have a solution, even though I'm unemployed. I've got enough money saved up that I think I've got a solution, and that is that if all of our congressmen, all of our national representatives, all of our state representatives take a lie detector test. Wow. Why not? Why laugh about it? Why don't you just do it? I'm willing to pay for yours, to be the first one in the country. I'd like to know whether you lie to our people here. I'd like to know whether you've committed any crimes. Can you imagine what Blagovich would do on something like this? It sounds silly, but it's not. I used to have a job a long time ago where I had to deposit $100,000 in cash sometimes. And my company required me to take a lie detector test. Why can't you take a lie detector test, mister?
Are you done?
Are you going to do it? I'll ask you a question. Are you?
Well, I'm asking you your questions, and I'll answer them.
Real simple, yes or no.
What do you want me to take the lie detector test on?
Whether you've told these people a lie, whether you've told people a lie, whether you've committed a crime.
No, I have not. And look, I think the tone of this meeting, first of all, I'll be happy to take a lie detector test if you want me to take a lie detector test about if I'm lying to you or stealing, and I will be happy to take a drug test to boot. But look, I'm here today to tell the people in this auditorium what I know about the House bill. I'm not here to change people's minds, and I resent one thing. I come from a very blue-collar background. My folks lost their house growing up because my dad had an illness, and I remember what it did to my family. I'm a lot of things. Ask my wife. But one thing I will tell you, as long as I've been in public service and when I cut cloth for men's suits and cut lining, I am not a liar. I didn't come here today to fabricate. I came here today to talk about the bill, and I want you to hear from somebody who's been affected by health care and give you the statistics. You don't have to leave here liking this bill. You can hate the bill, and I'm sure some of you will, and we can agree to disagree. But this, as the doctor mentioned, is a democracy. And I think to imply, first of all, I have said publicly that I think Rob Blagojevich was not only a disaster, he's a buffoon. But look, God put eyes in the front of our heads so we would look forward, not backwards. And that's what I'm here today to do. I'm not going to waste my time, answering questions whether or not I'm being truthful or not. If you don't think I'm truthful, there's something called an election. But this bill, I will tell you about in a moment. And everything that I tell you is factual, and you don't have to like what I tell you. But I'm not making it up. I've said this many times to people. If you ask me a question, and I say the same thing to my children, and I've raised two. And this is why I think I'm resentful of the implication. I've told my children, if you ever ask your dad a question, I will always give you the truthful answer. You're probably going to be mad at me when you get it sometimes. But your dad's not here to make it up. So let me begin with saying this to you. I want to dispel a couple of the myths about the bill, introduce introduce Ken, have him speak, and then get into a discussion about a little bit more about the bill. The first thing I want you to know is that I am disgusted, speaking of lies, and I am appalled at the mere mention of the fact some prominent people have that somehow in this bill that we have death panels and euthanasia for seniors. I will tell you that that is an outright, bald-faced lie, and it is shameful that people even talk about that, and to think that any member of Congress, Republican or Democrat, would support a concept. I was a hospice volunteer for 4 years. It's a wonderful program. All this bill does is give the physician what they have now, the option to talk to families and the patients about end-of-life decisions that are made by the patient and the families, such as hospice, home hospice, hospital hospice, such as living wills, such as do not resuscitate, things I had to do when my father was dying, and other people that I know. My wife's father, who had a DNR, and they resuscitated him by mistake, and that family had to make the decision. And quite candidly, it's very tough enough for families. All this bill says is that the physician, once in consultation, if they submit a claim, that the physician can be reimbursed for that. But to imply that we have somehow set up things for euthanasia for people is un-American to say it, and it is an outright fabrication, and there would be no way, no member of Congress, Republican or Democrat, would ever vote for a bill, and I can tell you it's not in this bill. I will say this, and then before I turn it over to Ken, people have said, have I read this bill? I've read every page of this bill, every section of this bill. The bill came through our Committee on Education and Labor. We marked the bill up. We started at 10 a.m. in the morning. We worked until 6 a.m. the next morning, straight through, on every amendment, on every section. We adjourned for 2 hours. We went home and showered and came back, and we finished 3.5 hours later on the markup of the bill. We had a 9-hour caucus on every section of the bill where members and their staff could ask any questions that they had on everything. So I'm not a wizard here, and Mr. Perfect, I haven't memorized it, but I know what's in this bill. And I will be as honest with you as I can. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. I will say this, the tough part that we have in this whole debate is the Senate. There are 7 senators currently debating on the Senate side the health care bill. I can't tell anybody in this auditorium a single solitary thing that they're talking about, and neither can the other 93 members of the Senate or my other 434 colleagues, because they're not talking. So today, the only thing I can talk to you about is the House bill, what's in it, what's not in it, and answer your questions. And that's what I'm here today to do. Let me introduce